Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a Southern Kentucky family finally gets some peace after the remains of a woman are found almost 5 years after she went missing. And as we get closer to Christmas, online shoppers need to be aware of scams that are meant to steal their holiday cheer.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is now 6:32. Let's check in with Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. Good morning, Brandon.
Good morning, Olivia. You might say that the weather outside is frightful right now.
Frightful.
This afternoon, it might be more delightful.
Well, I hope so, because I did not have a rain jacket this morning, and I regretted that.
Well, I think you'll be okay later. I think it's just this morning that you may still have a few issues.
That's good to hear.
So there you go. All right, let's come to live pinpoint Doppler radar and show you where the rain is and where it's going, and it's on the way out. I can tell you that. We'll take a look there, and you'll see the green moving past Hazard. We just had a pretty little downpour here a few minutes ago, but the cutoff line all the way back into Clay County, Lee and Owsley counties, all the way up toward I-64, down into Bell County as well. So the western half already dry, and that's it. So Pikeville at the US 119, US 23 intersection near Pikeville Commons. Still a bit wet this morning. Still a few more showers to go, but they are moving in the right direction. Temperatures out there continue to drop in the western counties because we're going to see a drop until about 9 o'clock. Then we'll stabilize a little bit once the sun maybe comes a little bit this afternoon. We'll be breezy at times, so be aware of that. Temperature difference, you can tell where the temperatures are still dropping. It's 9 degrees warmer in Prestonsburg, Hazard this morning, 11 degrees warmer in Moorhead, but 4 degrees colder right now in Williamsburg. So again, watching that very closely. Frosted Weather Wheat's breakfast forecast, well, not too much going on there. Some rain chances a little while, especially for those eastern counties, and temperatures will continue to fall through about 9 o'clock before stabilizing. Olivia?
Thank you, Brandon. A Southern Kentucky family says a discovery in Tennessee is finally giving them some peace. Remains of a Whitley County woman missing almost 5 years were found Sunday. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on the case that began in February of 2018.
The discovery of Laura Anderson's remains 149 miles away in Cleveland, Tennessee solves part of a missing person mystery.
Find out why, who all was involved, how did she get transported, who transported her. I mean, she's somewhere or another, she's got killed, murdered, and left there for 5 years.
It began in February 2018 when Anderson got out of her mother's car and took off. Her family says that they did not see her alive again. Her remains were discovered Sunday when authorities in Tennessee say some kids stumbled across a skull, which led to them finding more remains.
I want to thank them very much for calling it in and them finding what they found, and it has brought her home now.
The missing person case took a bizarre and unprecedented turn 3 years ago when Joseph Bauer made a jailhouse confession that he played a role in hiding her remains. He was sentenced to 10 years on that crime. Well, this case is far from over. Police say it still remains an active and open investigation. The Commonwealth's attorney says there are other persons of interest that he says he cannot identify at this time. Her family says they can have a funeral and a proper burial, but justice has not been fully served.
We want to find out who all was involved. I mean, we're not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. Till my last breath, I won't stop.
Some questions answered, others still out there.
Every time we see a body on TV or even hear of a body, we all just tense up like, oh my God. You know, now it's finally here, and she can be put to rest with the rest of her family.
In Whitley County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Anderson's family says they have learned that Bauer was released after only serving 2 years of a 10-year term. On the Kentucky Online Offender Search's website, it says that Bauer was granted mandatory reentry supervision that began in July and ended on Wednesday. More than 7 years ago, Trevor Dykes was shot and killed at his home in Clay County. Police said Thomas Miracle hired Roscoe Henson to kill Dykes, and Ashley Lawson took part in the plan because of a custody battle. Gilbert Henson was accused of hiding the murder weapon. Henson pleaded guilty to murder for hire back in May of 2018. On Wednesday, a jury met and recommended a 20-year sentence for Ashley Lawson on the charge of conspiracy to commit murder. Lawson is scheduled to be sentenced January 9th. The death penalty is off the table for a Whitley County man charged with killing his pregnant girlfriend. The Eastern Kentucky District of Kentucky filed a motion to withdraw the death penalty against Daniel Nance. Investigators say he shot and killed 29-year-old Jerry Johnson in March of 2019. She was 7 months pregnant at the time. The baby was delivered but died. Prosecutors say Nance killed Johnson to keep her from talking to police about his efforts to sell meth. Police are asking for your help with a search for a missing man in Bell County. This is Woodrow Barton. He is also known as Woody. He was last seen leaving a Bradford Town Road home on foot on Monday wearing a black jacket and black cargo pants. The 70-year-old is described as being 5'7" and weighing about 150 pounds. He has gray hair, green eyes, and is missing his index and middle fingers on his left hand. Anyone who has seen him or knows where he is should call Bell County Dispatch. A Pike County man faces several charges after he was arrested last week. Shortly after 8:30 on December 9th, police responded to a welfare check at Harbor Freight on Weddington Branch Road in Pike County. During the investigation, police found 36-year-old Brandon Holbrooks. They said he had 3 active warrants. Officials also found several pills, suspected meth, and digital scales during a search. Holbrooks was arrested and taken to the Pike County Detention Center. We are just 10 days away from Christmas, which means we are in the peak of Christmas shopping season. Online shopping can be easy and less stressful during the holidays, but it can also be a dangerous way to grab those last-minute presents. Heather Clary with the Better Business Bureau says this time of year, the Bureau gets many reports of Kentuckians who were taken advantage of.
We're hearing from folks who have ordered something they found online, they haven't received it, or what they received was some cheap little knockoff copy. And when we ask them where the business is located that they got it from, they're unable to tell us. There's no address on the website. Or worse, I bought it off of a page on Facebook.
Clary recommends using a credit card when you buy this holiday season. She says credit card companies can offer some money back protection if you get scammed, whereas a bank or a company like Venmo or PayPal generally do not offer the same protections. Kentucky House Bill 8 is scheduled to take effect at the start of 2023, which affects utility taxes and income taxes across the state. Here in the region, utility providers such as Big Sandy RECC have been instructed by the Kentucky Department of Revenue to make customers aware of those changes. Changes include a 6% sales tax on utilities for secondary residences and a decrease in individual income tax rates from 5% to 4.5%. Big Sandy RECC General Manager and President Bruce Davis says he hopes the state's plan for tax reform goes smoothly.
We're hoping that our legislation is going to work out. We hope that that the income tax does this whole tax reform is going to work out in the benefit for all. We're hoping that, but then that tax is a big question and a big concern for our members.
You can find out more about House Bill 8 and sign up for the tax exemption on the Big Sandy RECC website.
.41 here on this Thursday morning, Friday Eve. We're seeing the rain move on out of the region. Not quite gone just yet, but it's on the way out. So we'll see hopefully some clearing skies a little bit later on today. Looks like there might be another little band trying to approach Louisville this morning. So we'll kind of see how that plays out for us, and we'll keep an eye on it for you. But again, temperatures still dropping. The first part of the front approaching. When we get behind it, it's going to drop quite a bit. But I think we drop after having a midnight high to about upper 40s, and then we'll rebound back into the 50s with some sunshine later today. So just be aware of that. Out the door forecast, we are going to see those showers continue in scattered form early, almost out of the region. Then we'll rebound a little bit later on this afternoon, back into those low 50s as we mentioned. Olivia?
Thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:41. Still to come on Mountain News this morning, there's a bit of good news in the fight against drugs abuse as the U.S. sees a small decline in overdose deaths. Stay with us. That's just ahead.